Welcome back to my channel, folks. I do appreciate you being here. Today, we are going to look at the latest liberal tantrum, or what they prefer to call a protest movement, but we just call it how we see it around here. We use accurate language, and for all intents and purposes, these are tantrums. So what are they doing? Well, they are targeting Teslas, Tesla owners, dealerships, and that means things are burning, getting vandalized, owners are being doxxed, and former Tesla owners are even ditching their own vehicles. So what has ignited all of this? Well, as we know, liberals really don't need much to ignite a tantrum or a protest. But this, of course, has been incited because Elon Musk took his gig at the White House with DOGE, which, as we know, is the Department of Government Efficiency, which is apparently the biggest threat that liberals can think of right now. But since then, left-wing outrage has gone from 0 to 60. And by outrage, as I said, I mean vandalism, arson, and a level of pettiness that makes a classroom full of 2-year-old toddlers look like reasonable people. So let's start with the fires. Across the country, Tesla dealerships and charging stations are going up in flames at the hands of the party of love and tolerance. So in Seattle, 4 Cybertrucks were set on fire on March 10th. In Littleton, Massachusetts, 7 charging stations were torched on March 3rd. In Kansas City, 2 Cybertrucks were absolutely barbecued on March 17th. And in Las Vegas, 5 Teslas were set ablaze on March 18th, complete with the word resist spray painted on the storefront, like some kind of edgy art project gone wrong. I mean, I guess when you can't win an argument, you just set something on fire and call it a day. But maybe just a pro tip for these arsonists out there, not that I want to really help anybody, but if you're going to throw a Molotov cocktail, maybe don't wear a shirt that says F Trump, long live Ukraine, while accidentally setting yourself on fire, because that's what happened in North Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, I guess we got to praise this guy's commitment to the cause, but the execution is definitely lacking. And then there's the vandalism. So in Tigard, Oregon, someone unloaded over a dozen bullets into a Tesla dealership twice in 1 week. Dedham, Massachusetts, 3 Teslas got spray painted and had their tires slashed. And then in Linwood, Washington, a Cybertruck got a swastika makeover. I guess in the liberal way of thinking, spray painting the word schmatzy on a car feels good if you're really mad at Elon, as you've been told to be angry at him, even though, again, these people have no idea why. But the insanity does not stop there. Then there's the doxing. So some genius out there decided to launch a website exposing the personal details of Tesla owners, names, addresses, the works. But nothing says I'm fighting the good fight like harassing random families who spent their hard-earned money to buy the car of their choice because you don't like the CEO's friendship with the President of the United States. And then there's the harassment and then just putting people in danger. So people are brake checking people that are driving Teslas on the highway. They're flipping them off. They're doing rolling roadblocks just to make their day more miserable. And one guy in Boston said he had strangers scream at him while he's driving with a newborn in the car, which is really, really classy, guys. And then this person posted and said, "Today we did, have you experienced hostility as a Tesla driver? Extraordinarily, a listener got in touch to say a driver had pulled up behind her Tesla with full beams on last Friday and then shot her rear windscreen before driving off down a side road." And some people, in order to try and avoid being confronted in this way, are so fed up that they're putting stickers on their car that say things like, "I bought this before Elon went crazy," which is hilarious because if you think Elon is crazy now, you probably weren't paying attention when he launched a car into space just as a flex. And for those who don't want to be bothered trying to purchase a whole other vehicle, they're trying to disguise their Teslas with logos of other car manufacturers like Toyota and Honda. But I mean, I guess if they think that a man can be a woman, it makes sense that they would think a Tesla could be a Honda. But then there are people that are ditching their Teslas. Mind you, these are the cars that they absolutely loved until they realized that their own party is insane. So apparently Business Insider tracked down 4 ex-Tesla owners who ditched their cars, and their stories are definitely peak for 2025 in the way that this year is going in general. But Senator Mark Kelly was one of those people that decided to ditch his Tesla. And he posted a video on X claiming he bought his car before he knew that it would become a political issue. Mind you, every single Democrat in office, like 5 minutes ago, was trying to force every single one of us to buy one of these $70,000 cars in the name of saving the planet, and telling us that if we couldn't afford it, to just take one for the team and opt for public transportation.
Driving to work for the last time in my Tesla. When I bought this thing, I didn't think it was going to become a political issue. Every time I get in this car in the last 60 days or so, it reminds me of just how much damage Elon Musk and Donald Trump is doing to our country. Talking about slashing Social Security, cutting healthcare benefits for poor people, for seniors. It's one bad thing after the next. He's firing veterans. I'm a veteran, so I have a really hard time driving around in this thing.
But reportedly, this is what Senator Mark Kelly replaced his Tesla with. So nothing says I am afraid of climate change like purchasing a giant gas guzzling SUV. So what is the takeaway from all of this? Well, from a conservative perspective, as we know, this is what happens when the left loses their mind over someone trying to shrink the government. Elon's out here slashing red tape, and they're out here slashing tires. It's unhinged, it's hypocritical, and let's be real, we know that it is completely ineffective. I mean, Tesla's still going to sell cars, Elon's still going to advise Trump, and the only people suffering are the car owners themselves and the people who work for these companies. And let me remind you, the people that primarily own these cars are Democrats, because again, they are the ones that have been advocating for all of us to own electric vehicles for years. And at least half of the Democrats in Congress probably own one. So whoever these protesters are attacking on the street are more than likely people on the same side of the issues as them. So again, they're not only being completely ineffective against Elon and against people driving Elon's cars, but what they're literally doing is driving more supporters away from their own party. And I just don't think that it can be reiterated enough, because this truly highlights the hypocrisy of this movement and the fact that they have no consistency in the things that they believe. Because again, just a few years ago, Democrats were practically begging all of us to drive electric cars like these, and pretty much saying that by the year like 2030, it wouldn't be a choice. It didn't matter if we could afford one. Their message to us was, tough luck, peasant. It's your job to save the planet. I mean, they guilt trip us into selling a kidney just to buy one of these cars, of course, all while sipping their expensive lattes and flying around on private jets. But now they are torching the very cars that they promised were going to be the things that would save us. I mean, Greta Thunberg is probably drafting a very strongly worded speech as we speak.
How dare you?
I'm not saying that Elon Musk is perfect. I mean, the guy provides a lot of really great meme material, and he is definitely very smart. But if you're torching Teslas and doxing owners over his politics, maybe take a step back and ask yourself, who is the real villain here? Because the spoiler is, it's not the dude who just wanted to charge his car in peace today while maybe going out to the mall with his family. Anyway, I appreciate all of you guys watching, and I would love to hear all of your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please be sure to hit the like button. I would love it if you would subscribe. I am trying to grow this channel. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one.